Welcome to this very first episode of Variations. Variations is an opportunity for us to be inspired by word and image and song. This Variations, we are having an honest-to-God conversation about what it means to be baptized and how we can make that real. I'm glad you're joining us.
Come with uncertainty. Take time to get used to. Submit to an agreement of how to be used, of how to be viewed, of how to be treated. All things new. From toys to shoes to home to schools. From title to job to partner to place. From who's right to choose to who marries who to which pronouns do you use. All things new. They, them, she, him, you, we, together, us, them, old, new, no matter what you do. Live, love, respect, respond to all things new. Ways and means, words and themes, all things new. Not red, not blue, all human hues, all things new. This calls for you to take a step and do what's true. What's sound, what's clutch, what's in most hearts? The time to start is now, we're long overdue. Calling out to you, and you, and you, and we get down with all things new. I'm out.
The sacrament of baptism is symbolic for Christians of new life. We take a little bit of water and sprinkle it on the head of a baby. Sometimes we take full-grown adults and immerse them in a big vat of water. And as they emerge up, it is symbolic of emerging from the waters of the womb, and we enter into this new life. The water of baptism, it's ordinary water, but with prayer and intention and tradition, it becomes sacred. The people who are being baptized, they're ordinary people. But with baptism and the new life that is promised through it, well, the idea is that we also become sacred. I was baptized as a baby, and when I was in Israel, I was given the opportunity to remember my baptism in the Jordan River. I was invited to be immersed in the waters that Jesus was baptized in, so the tradition says. Another United Methodist pastor was going to help me do that. So I put on my swimsuit, my $10 rope, and I walked down the ramp that led me and him into the chilly waters of the Jordan River. And as my colleague held my shoulders and began to tilt me back, I was ready. I'm not sure exactly what I was expecting, but what happened was not what I expected. As he tilted me back into the water, my center of gravity shifted and I lost my balance, and the current of the river swept my feet out from under me and my head went backwards. I went under the water and the river flowed all the way over me, flooding my body with water. And in those brief moments of being under the water, a flood of memories filled my head. I remembered being a young girl, a childhood, playing with my friends in the neighbor's swimming pool. I remembered, and I felt again a sense of joy and freedom and belonging. I remembered the time when I was a teenager vacationing in Nebraska. My cousins and I got out inner tubes and decided we would float down the North Platte River, and that relaxing, lazy river float turned into a mad dash as lightning began to appear in the sky and hailstones began to come down the size of golf balls. We made a mad scramble out of the river and to safety in the banks. And once we were home, we laughed at it. And I remembered, and I felt again a sense of grand adventure. I remembered the time, many times, I would go to the ocean and walk out into the water and dive underneath the waves and know that as I floated down in safety below the turmoil on the sea, I knew that the waves were creating chaos just above me. But I remembered that feeling of being safe and trusting and confident. All of that in that brief moment of being tilted backwards in the Jordan River and having my feet swept out from under me, and yet still feeling like I was being held while feeling joy and freedom and belonging, adventure and safety and trust and confidence. That experience of remembering my baptism, It made me realize that the new life offered in baptism isn't really that different from the old life. We just approach that new life with different expectations. We expect that there will be hard times in life, that the storms will come in, the waves will crash down over us, and we'll feel disoriented and we'll be surprised and worried. But we also expect that we'll emerge okay because somehow we're held. We're held with the possibilities of all we are and all that we can be. And we can take all those struggles that come towards us in life, knowing, expecting that we will emerge from them, we will surface stronger, wiser. It's just ordinary water and we're just ordinary people, but you know, water is sacred. We are sacred. And we have the opportunity to remember that. You might not have the option of remembering your baptism in the Jordan River, but I invite you, every time you come in contact with water in these next few days, every time you brush your teeth, every time you take a shower, every time you take a sip, every time you take a bath, every time you look out over the ocean, anytime you encounter water, ask yourself, what is my intention for my one beautiful life? And then set your expectations, so that whatever it is life throws at you, you know you will emerge stronger, wiser, better. Thank you for watching Variations. I want to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, to like us, to share it with your friends. And remember, I did challenge you to consider water as you encounter it this week. And so I invite you to share with me through the chat box what that was like and how it might have changed your expectations for your life. We'll see you next week.